Hello, everybody. It's Marty the JavaScript Party. My buddy Rat back there, just chilling. We just finished a Three.js video. Now, this series of videos that I believe I'm working on Say Hello. And I believe I always work on Say Hello every Saturday. So I'm actually going to take the folder that I keep Say Hello in, and I'm going to change it from Say Hello. I believe I can just change the name because I don't think I'm referencing this. It's where I keep my videos, not the code. Um, I name it to Saturday Say Hello. I believe that renaming this folder to Saturday Say Hello will make um, my it'll reduce the amount of time it takes me to come up to speed. Now this is a really good one. I definitely wanted to record this part of the software development process. So like I'm experimenting with another channel, I guess it's called another playlist called Simple 3JS. And in Simple 3JS, I'm not trying to teach you how to code. I'm not trying to show you how to code. All I'm trying to show you is what the code is and explain it. These are more for me to understand the process of coding. Um, like everyone I know that has ever tried to teach other people how to code has always been like, I don't know, I just can't figure out how to convey what I know to other people. Like everyone I know. Like most people learned how to code in some way that we don't really understand how they learned how to code. And then now that they can code, we can give them pointers and help. But like taking someone who doesn't know how to code at all and converting him into somebody that does know how to code is extraordinarily difficult. And I don't think anyone really understands exactly what it is. But an important, probably maybe even the most important part. I don't know. There's probably like a 500 way tie for the most important part. But maybe the most important part is coming up to speed. Like going from whatever you're thinking about and then changing gears to coding. Like there's a process to that, and I'm trying to capture that. So right now I am in my 3JS. I was deep in 3JS. I was thinking about memory leaks, things like that, very complex things. And now I'm going to kill that. And just step one, I don't know what the whole path to get coming up to speed over there is. I don't even know what we were working on the flashcards. I don't remember what it even looks like. I think it looks really good though. But and I think it was working. But it's been 2 weeks. So let's go over there. And the very first thing I will typically try to do when I go to start the process of coming up to speed is, and I just mentally noted that Say Hello was longer, farther back than in this list than Flashcard. So right now, today, the way Visual Studio Code works is when you say open recent, it shows them in order of the last time that you ordered, the last time that you did that. And from my perspective, it may not be. It probably isn't actually, but from my perspective, that's an undocumented feature. That is a feature that is available to me right now that I cannot become dependent on. So, probably would have been great if I'd have named this Saturday Say Hello. But so I'm going to, but I did note that, so that gave me a bit of comfort that I'm on the right path. That Saturdays is for Say Hello. So, and again, I'm just kind of closely watching myself. Oh, okay, I love this. I really helped myself 2 weeks ago. Looks like I gave myself a list of things to do, and okay, so it looks like all we're trying to do on this one is make the table look a little better. Probably everything else looks nice, but the table, maybe, I don't know. Now, every project I've started, and that's not true. I was gonna say every project I've started since 2026, January 2026, I always have two folders in it. I have the Angular application is not at the top. It's at the it's lower. And I think I need to name it UI dash in the name of the project from the future. But that's only for full projects. My 3JS project, my simple 3JS project is not like that. So anyways, so I'm gonna come over here and um say hello voice API interfaces. Set up. So I think I've kind of gotten off I was creating issues in GitHub and kind of bouncing back and forth. I think now that I've got some momentum going, it's just a lot faster just to do it as opposed to it's like I can do a little bit more leaping before I look. Before that, at the beginning, I really had to think everything through before I did anything. I think that is how that works. But I want to go to cd say hello UI npm start now. Start now. So yeah, so now we're waiting for this to come up, and it looks like we have a table. I think it's all working. I think that's the thing is it's all working. It looks like next Saturday I'm going to make status its own rows into JSON. Move the rows into a JSON. I don't even know what that means. Oh, I think the rows right now are just like hard coded, and it's like I need to. I can't really remember though. So this is our results panel, and that's the CSS. Let's go look at the results. Yeah, so this is the thing I want to make look nicer. And I don't know, maybe I should make this a mat table. Mostly, well, no, I don't think so. Oh man, that looks good. I like that. Let's try it. Hello. Oh, that's nice. Yeah, so I think what I wanted to do is probably I want the status to go second. I like the status being first because it's just then I don't have to worry about alignment. Um, but I guess it's the same. There's only two of them, and I think the herd probably should be its own line, like what we heard. Almost feels like that should be the last line though, not the top line. Um, so and boom, fully engaged. I'm fully engaged in this new thing. Um, so like that's incredible. I mean, like that was so fast. Okay, so I'm gonna try it. Bring this down here. TR. And this is kind of one of those things where like if you had to code in the 90s for Java HTML and front end, or in the very early 2000s, probably before 2005. So anytime before 2005, you probably spent a lot of time doing tables. We did tables all the time, and so this is a table data. I don't know why they don't. I would have called it a TC for table column. I've always wondered why. And then I think you go row span and 3. So this is different, right? It's very, very different because when you um, um, back in the day, um, I mean this is very different because this is kind of how it worked at the beginning, but they since came up with different schemes and they used to have like cell padding and cell spacing and stuff like that that would go up in your table like a tag like that, like this row span. Um, okay, and I'm just gonna say herd, and then I wonder. Oh, yeah, I think that's good enough. I almost feel like I should put like a little ear icon. Let's try this. Control dot ear. I don't know what that's gonna look like. We're gonna try it though. can't really see it, but it does catch your eye. Can't really tell. Hey, I guess we should put this in quotes. That is so amazing. I don't know. Angular, I swear, you watch the Angular, like the Angular official things, and they just seem so silly and seem so like non-serious. But man, you just can't have these kinds of things work so well like how this works without being very, very serious. And so it's kind of like you see it like, oh, these are just a bunch of goofy guys just trying to do stuff. But then you like, so I'm gonna change this to a two. But then you see the results of their work, and it's just incredible. And I don't know, it's weird. I definitely have mixed feelings about it, about the way they sort of act and stuff. But I think, um, like sometimes I really like it, and sometimes I don't. I guess it's just sometimes I guess I'm feeling grumpy, sometimes I'm not. I suspect they hate my videos because they seem to really want everything to be shown in its best place, and well, first of all, like I'm very results orientated. Like I just want stuff to work. I'm not looking. I don't have any sort of religious feelings or anything like that. Like it's just like, hey, does this work? Is it maintainable? Like, can I read it? Like, are we just arguing over whether this is readable, or are we arguing over whether it works or not? Or like, I feel like those arguments that, especially during pull requests, can be very, very weird, hard, very difficult to deal with because like you can never, everyone has such different motivations of what they're trying to get out of it, I guess. I feel like this should be bigger text though. And I do, oh, that's so funny. So the language is data and the region is three. So E N or ENUS, I think is what we want. EN. And I think we do have a default, right? Like, so if I go here, I think it'll push us, yeah, it pushes us straight to ENUS. Um, so we haven't heard anything. I feel like that's reasonable. I mean, we could probably make it a little bit more useful, but um, hi. I love that. It is so cool. Um, all right. So now, and I feel like I don't know. I can't wait to get this and try it on my phone. I had no luck with the voice analyzer on the phone, so I don't know. It just was very, very unreliable on my Android phone in Chrome. I was really hoping that because I wanted to build this cool little application for my wife called like it would basically would let her put things in the clipboard, but it let her say the words in it, talk the words in, tweak them a little bit, and save them to local storage. And then she would be able to, when she's on her phone and she's trying to respond, she gets like hundreds of responses every day from people on TikTok, and literally 9 out of 10 responses are kind of one of 15, 1 to 20 different responses. So it would be really helpful for her if she could just scroll through sort of pre-baked responses that, but typing them in is like not something that she's up for. So I thought that would be a cool application, but it just doesn't work well on the phone. And there's just no telling. We are definitely in a state of like weirdness right now when it comes to voice. Like, who knows what's going to happen. Um, but anyway, so now we have our status and our listening for. What were some of the other suggestions I gave myself? So I was talking about top. I ended up putting it at the bottom. And then I wanted that text to be bigger though. I feel like this text needs to be bigger. let's see, back to here. Maybe it just needs to be bolded. I wonder what happens if you do. Oh man, I always have the hardest time with let's see, strong, I think. I believe strong is the new bold. Used to just, but for the longest time, you could just highlight it, hit Control B, and it would bold it. Is the ear bigger, I wonder? Okay, so maybe just I want just to go in here. So herd high, and then yeah, so we could add a little bit of like logic to say, hey, if it exists, if it's blank, then if it's empty, then don't show this at all. That probably would actually be very useful now that I think about it. So record voice over, thumbs down. So yeah, it looks like we want this. If it's equal to the, so funny. I was like, I'm not doing this, and here I am doing it. Let's do it. Do it. If in my job, we it's gonna get very, very serious in the next couple of weeks. Because basically, when there's like when we're in session for officially 40 days. It's not 40 days continuously, but there's 40 days of session. So between the first day of session and the last day of session is very, very serious where I work. And I always kind of, and the last day of session is kind of like the Super Bowl of like when I worked at CNN, we had like kind of a Super Bowl waiting. Um, Listening for results. I feel like maybe it's probably a matte icon that is I think would look better than this. So let me just copy this down, and it's not worn, right? We're like ready. Yeah, I guess we want this, something like this. Remember what that was. Control V. Oh, because it hurt something, so we actually have to reload. Actually, that's nice. The it would be better. I don't know. Oh, I guess there's no reason for that to be a row span. I guess what we should do is do this TD. And I'm amazed at how often that happens. Like I'm like, I need a row span, and then I don't. And then and then and I feel like actually I feel like this should just always be this ready icon. Which is going to make life a lot easier, like when we I guess that, and then I don't think we need this anymore. Then so, and just to be clear, like I think if you're somebody was like not artistic at all, like if you're just like if you're a coder and you just like coding and stuff, you don't really have like a truly like I mean, coding is an art in my opinion, not a um not a science at all, not even close to a science. Nothing even vaguely like a science. I have no idea why it's called like I don't understand why anybody would hire somebody from a scientific background to write code for them. That's weird to me. Don't get me wrong, they all I've met plenty of awesome computer science people who code well. But I'm just saying like science is really to me about like making observations and then making ideas, hypotheses, and then creating ways to test those. And that's like not how you code, right? Like how you code is still, I don't even, wouldn't even think it's engineering, right? It's not even engineering. It's between engineering and technology, like being a technician, right? So like you don't typically send out a mechanical engineer to a house to fix the air conditioner, mostly because they can't. They, that's not what they do. And you sure as heck wouldn't send out some scientists to a house to fix air conditioning. And I feel like fixing an air conditioning is closer, or installing an air conditioning is closer to coding than um, like drawing up an air conditioner. You know, like when the guys come out and they need to put an air conditioner in your house, a central heat and air, they have to figure out, okay, what was there? How do we pull that out? How do we put the next one in? Blah, 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 blah. You know, like there's all these things. You don't have an engineer do that. You have a technician do that. And to me, like an engineer, if you were going to send somebody out, you definitely would send out an engineer before you sent out a scientist. So like it's weird. The whole thing is weird to me. But anyway, so here we go. I feel like we've accomplished today's task. I almost feel like this should be like side by side, or maybe this should be one line. Definitely the page is very unbalanced. So, anyways, oh, what I was trying to say was that if you're like an art, if you were like an art, and you know, if you're an art person, you know, like this page is not very well laid out. But if you just care about results, page is very well laid out. Um, maybe I guess those should go here. The locale, en, that stuff should be like to the right there. And I don't think that would be very hard to do. Okay, so I have a execution panel. Oh, and that's what's in here. So I want that to stay right where it's at. But I think what I want is to move these guys. Okay, I want that to stay at the top. And then I feel like this should go outside of the div. Like this. And then this guy should go outside of the div. Like this. That didn't, that, I mean, I think that helped a lot with the spacing. Um, and then this guy should go on the other side. Right, so now we have this div, and I mean we probably should consider putting this into its own um, component, making it a component. And then style, display, I believe it's display, right? Display and flex. And I went through like a bout of unemployment. It was almost a year. Oh yeah, that's a lot better. That's weird because I don't know why this table over here is like being so tall. It's probably because of the display flex, I guess. Not exactly sure. Let me do this. Inspect. Let's do that. Get rid of that. I never ever even look at that. Probably should. Probably a mistake not to. Like anything you can do to make your life a little bit. Yeah, see, for some strange reason, it's stretching it out. It's got to be the flex, right? So like, um, so we can look at what it chose. I think maybe not. Yeah, display. Okay, so that's display table. Okay, so in this code, so I'm just gonna take this code and I'm just gonna say the lines from 4 to 5 are like stretching out to be the same height as the app result panel. And I don't know if this is like something I'm doing. I don't think it is. Let's see if there's any styles that are being applied specifically on the table. So what I'm going to look is at the top here. See, so I don't have any of my styles are not affecting the size of this table internally. Like there's nothing I'm doing. Okay, so I'm going to go to ChatGPT and then um, I have this Angular template code. Control V. And the table is being vertically stretched to be the same size, same height as the app. And I don't think that the ChatGPT, the AI, I don't think it needs me to be so um, like it doesn't need me to be so precise in my wording. It really doesn't. Like this is my opportunity to learn to be precise in my language speaking. ChatGPT doesn't do that. So if you're typing in ChatGPT and you're just putting in misspellings and all that and letting it figure it out for you, you're really hurting yourself. You're not helping yourself. Um, it- Everything you do is like a practice for something. I hate how they, I don't, well, is align item stretch. Interesting. Align items flex start. You could apply it. See, so I feel like to me, this makes a little more sense to put this in the table itself. Now it's weird because I thought that the flex did not like. I thought I had learned that the flex doesn't sort of bleed through within the child elements. Oh yeah, that's way better. Okay, so in this thing for, let's see, content. I'm going to call this class. Control X this, and I'm going to call this class equals content because this is my content. And then I'm going to come in here into my SCSS. Let's see. dot content. So it's going to say everything that's inside this app results panel, which is not what I want to do. So dot content. Display flex. And then our table. So this should only affect tables within this in here. And I'm only saying that, like, in my experience, it doesn't, but like where I work, it does. Like these styles will bleed out. And I think it's some setting that we have, but I'm not sure. But table is supposed to be, let's go back in here. Align self flex start. That's a little better. And we're back here, we're back to that, and now we come back into here. And for all tables within here, we're going to do that. And then I do want like a border. And then I'm going to say it's going to be 1px solid, and I'm just going to call it gray. I think that'll work. So I think that looks pretty good. I'm very happy with the way this all looks. Let's just make sure we haven't broken anything. I like this listenings. I think it's supposed to be listening, singular. Listening for results. Maybe it's like this status. And maybe results. All right, let's try it out. So we're looking for howdy. Howdy. Start the microphone. Howdy. Oh yeah, I like that. I think that's nice. I think that works really good. I think it looks good. I'm really happy with it. So I will call that a win. Let's call that a win. We're winners. That's how we do. That's how we do. Let's copy this. I definitely need like space around the whole thing. Let's see. Let's do that real quick too. So I guess what we want to do is wrap this whole thing in like a, and this was like for probably like 5 years, maybe 3 years. Every place I went, this was the first line and the last line of every single top level page. Like if it was a whole page level of stuff, you had a div up here, and then you had a class, and then something called wrapper. That was just that. And then sometimes they'll put the name of the, and that just kind of went away. I don't know that it's necessary anymore, but it's just sort of, I like it. It makes me comfortable, but it definitely makes some people uncomfortable. But what's really nice about that then is that you can say our dot app wrapper, and then you can be absolutely sure that if nobody else uses the name of your component and wrapper which there really shouldn't be any reason for a different component to have the exact same name, unless you have two components with the same name, and then I don't know what to tell you. That's going to be weird. But this should be fine. That shouldn't break anything. And then, oh, that's funny. So I guess when I changed things, it reloaded, but it kept its results, which is really an interesting. That's interesting. That's sort of yeah, that's really interesting. And then padding. I'm just going to make it 5px. Probably should be, yeah, I think it should be padding. Okay, why? Why are you not? Why are you not padded? Inspect, wrapper. Is class equals, oh, yeah, that's right. I was like, suddenly, it's like class. Is it supposed to be class? And it is app dash wrapper. Then, app dash, right? App dash wrapper. But for some reason, it's not being applied at all. But the rest of these are, so yeah, it must be good, but for some reason it's ignoring this padding. Okay, let's try margin. Well, let's do this. Border 1px solid and red. Let's try that. Okay, that's good. Oh, now we have padding. Do we lose padding? That's wild. Okay, I don't know. I don't know if I just missaw, but I definitely see the padding now, but I could not see the padding a second ago. So anyways, so I do think that looks a lot better. It's not perfect. It definitely could use the help of a designer, but as you could see, the um, moving things around, it's pretty well optimized to be able to move these blocks, these little blocks around like a Lego. It almost feels like that start microphone should go there inside of right here, but I don't know. I'm gonna leave it right there for now. But anyways, let's see. Anyways. Anyways, found it. Found it. Found it. Right. Well, happy coding, everybody. I think that was great. I think we're well. Oh, yeah. Man, that was nice, right? Like having this README with this, with my next steps was really nice. All right. Make status as a component. Oh, okay. So that's these things here. Why you? Oh, okay. Yeah. So the next step will be to take this app, results panel, and turn this whole little thing into a component that listens for these things. And that it should be, I believe, that's going to be dirt simple. And the reason it's going to be dirt simple is because everything I use comes from this voice service signal. So that means there's no like plumbing that I need to copy and paste out of panel. Right? There's no inputs into panel. There's nothing like, basically I just need this effect to be over there, and that's it. I don't think I want these anymore. It's console logs. So that should be a fun one. That's gonna be a really fun little. Um, Actually, this is see how I do this assignment. I don't know that it's necessary, right? Like this is literally just to say, hey, listen for changes And I don't even know if this is necessary at all. Okay, first of all, let's try this. This is something I've been very curious about, and this is the easiest. Hi. Okay, so it still works even though we're not doing an assignment. Now, what if I get rid of this altogether, this effect? Because I'm only listening to the effect in the template. So let's do the Control S. Oop, too much or not enough. All right. Hi. Oh man, so we don't even need that. Holy cow. So I think we do need to, so yeah, so this wiring of in here, since I'm not even using it, doesn't even have to happen. I don't even need that code. I do need the service, and I do need it to not be private. But the service, the let's try the yeah. So I need the service installed. I guess I need the hello text. Yeah, so yeah, this is just the default value. So this default will need to come from a JSON. But anyway, but the next step is, I think, is going to be nice and clean. It's going to be so simple. We're literally going to create a status that is just these lines of code. And I think literally all we have to do, like literally, I believe, literally, yeah. So we just have to create a um, okay, so that isn't literally all we have to do. So we do have to create we have to create a component. We have to give it a selector name. We have to give it we have to pull in icon module. And I believe we'll still need icon module for this down here. So we can't remove it from here. And then we need to import, or we need to implement, create an instance of get a reference to, I guess that's the right words. We need to get a reference to our SH voice service, and we probably should name it SH voice service. And that's probably all that's going to be in the TypeScript. Is there some CSS that needs to get yanked out of here? Might have a little bit of CSS. Yeah, okay, so, and actually, yeah, I probably want to move these. I don't know. I'll probably just have a copy of this over there. I mean, it's so simple. There's just no reason to I think the abstraction of putting it into the styles isn't worth it. Like if I decide to use a different color green, it's 2 seconds to do it in both places. If I started churning out dozens, if I had one more component, I probably would pull this into the styles. Um, but then who knows? I might actually do it. But then over here, okay, and then over here, it's just copy this, pull in those, add that. So it wasn't literally just um, listen to this, but it's going to be pretty simple. And then, like I was working on another project, I don't remember which one it was, but I remember I think it was my 3JS one, my big 3JS one, and I was like, I'm gonna move this into this component and move it into a component. It ended up taking like over a week, and I thought it was gonna be something I was gonna do in 20 minutes, or maybe that was in my flashcard one. But anyways, I think this looks great. I'm really happy with it. Guess we should move on from there and call it a day. Let me get this guy up. Let's see, where are you? Where are you? Let's get this guy here. Let's highlight this so we can, like that, what I just did right there will save me probably 20 minutes, or at least 5 minutes um, when we start up next time. Like just literally that one little tweak is going to have a significant performance bump for me. Happy coding, everybody. Have a wonderful day. Bye.